Okay, give me a sec.
I need my hat, dude. I can't do this without my hat.
What's
Please.
wrong, bro?
Give me my hat.
What happened?
Give me my hat.
Want to break from the edge?
Dang, bro, this is like basically Pints with Aquinas.
Dude, shut up, bro.
Bertullius Catholic sponsor.
I wish. Oh my
I'm
sorry.
gonna join the conversation.
This is Sofia. Okay. Are you ready? Hi, and welcome to the Blessed Fall podcast. My name is Awen Paul Perez, and this is the podcast where Catholics keep it real, basically. Romans chapter 5, verse 20 said that sin reigned through death, but through Christ we live through eternal life. And today, I have a special guest. His name is Rollen Ellsworth. Rollen, why don't you introduce yourself, man?
Yeah. What? Should I be talking to you or?
No, you can talk anywhere. Just fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Not this one. Just you can do that one. Yeah.
Just this one.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Hey, I'm Rollen. I'm a third year at UCSD, and cradle Catholic, but really started my conversion to the faith, or not conversion, but really had
Reconversion?
Yeah, reconversion.
Wait, sorry. Would you say you reconverted, or you like unlocked it? Like that's a bad word. Because like reconvert's like you actively went to another faith or atheism.
I will say I believed in God, but I didn't have a personal relationship with Jesus.
Uh-huh.
He was something distant. So
okay.
It happened right after my confirmation.
Yeah.
And been leaving ever since. Represented on my water bottle. I have three pictures. First is Pentecost. That was my confirmation. Next part of my conversion is the rosary. The first prayer I turned to, because when I think prayer, I thought of rosary. So our Blessed Mother guided me. And now I'm living in the joy of the resurrection.
Oh wow! Where'd you get that sticker actually?
I customized it. It's not.
You customized it?
It's not a sticker. It's engraved.
Oh, this is engraved. Oh my gosh, dude, this is actually sick.
Yeah.
You did yourself?
I wish.
How did you do it?
I just ordered it online.
That's what I thought. That's exactly why I asked. Bro, to embarrass you, bro. Anyways, yeah.
Hey, that's just a bit about.
We can talk about that in a bit actually. I have something for you. Well, more like because you're like the personification of fitness. So at UCSD Newman, this guy's a strong man, okay? Listen up, okay? I have a Bible verse for you. You might have heard of it. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 19 through 20. Have you heard of this verse? Don't you know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit within you, which you have from God? You are not your own. You are bought with a price. So glorify God in your body. Now, for context, St. Paul is talking about how specifically the body is like to be interacted with the world, right? Not through lust, not through gluttony, but to glorify it through God, right? God works. I guess like the Gnostics, they talk about how the spiritual life is elevated, but the physical life, this is all fake, or you're evil, or the body's everything physical. But the interesting thing about God is like He created the world. He loved the world so much He gave His only begotten Son, and not only did He came in human form. The divine being reduced Himself to the lowest being. Now, I'm rambling and getting poetic, but what I wanted to talk about was glorifying your body, fitness. So, Roland, let's start with the basics. Why did you get into fitness?
Sure. Yeah. Thanks for asking that, Ewan. I think for me, my fitness journey started when I was in middle school, and to be honest, I was well. First and foremost, I did have a health problem. I was my BMI. I was over the 99th percentile for my BMI.
Yeah.
So I was pretty overweight. And one day I decided, and not one day, but it was just a gradual change. And then I decided during the summer to really put myself in a mode of strictness. I almost had a complete 180, similar to my reconversion to the faith.
Was it about the same time or?
No, this was in middle school. So
Okay.
I was in 6th grade, and during that summer, I didn't really know what I was doing. I just kind of ate less and exercised, and over time lost the weight. But as I reflect on it now, especially from middle school going into high school, for me, exercise was almost a sort of attention seeking, and it became
Really?
vanity.
You attention seeking?
Yeah.
You're the most humble Catholic I know, bro.
Oh, yeah, that's before you knew me in high school.
Sorry.
I didn't expect that either.
No, we didn't expect that, to be honest. Like you are actually pretty humble. Like I know I'm being sarcastic, like most humble Catholics do. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
I did contact.
So
yeah.
part of, I think everyone has this inner desire to be seen, right? We all want to be acknowledged and seen, whether you're outgoing or you're shy. You want people to come up to you and say, oh, hi.
Yeah.
For me, when I was in middle school, I had a hard time. I had a good group of friends, but in that time in middle school, you always want more. You always want the desire to be seen, and I couldn't do that via just being myself. So I thought I had to change myself, and that was the one way I could get people to notice me was, through exercise, changing the way I looked. And I remember specifically when I came back the next summer, keep in mind, like, I was a completely different person on the outward appearance, and the popular kids started to notice me, and that was my initial spark going into it, and that was my fuel. But as I reflect back on it, for me it was a source of almost vanity. I wouldn't regret it, because it led me to become disciplined. Exercise is very disciplined, and I think it's valuable. But this is another topic, but I think especially fitness today, there's a lot of
vanity.
Yes, vanity, to be short.
Yeah, that's fair. So let's say I went to school with you, right? You weren't, so your BMI was like, you said 99th percentile?
Yeah.
So you were
yeah.
Wait, Gordon, like
fats.
Like
Gordon.
Yes.
Okay, you guys. Okay, I'm gonna slowly go outwards circular. So tell me how fat. No, there's no way you're this big. No, stop the camera. You're not this big. Like this big.
I don't know what this scale represents, but
okay.
Just send me a photo and I'll edit in the video. I'll put it in the video.
Okay.
Okay. Anyways,
Okay.
So, you
if you want to send a photo.
Yeah, you don't have to. Like I mean,
Okay.
it's just for the sake of the video, just so that people get context. So let's say I went to school with you. You were pretty fat, and then I come next summer and you're buff. Is that what you're saying?
I wasn't. No. So my story was I became.
So you say graduate? Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. I just became quite lean and skinny.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
And then over time, and that's when because I needed to lose all the fat first. Then after that, I started building muscle slowly. And same thing in Newman. I became known as the workout guy.
You are the workout guy at UCSD Newman. Come on, man. You're the guy. Okay, we're gonna talk about this later. But that's interesting. Yeah, you said, where did it lead you with this vanity? Like you said, you got popular, but where did this all follow up? And just you crashed and burned. Like you didn't have any friends, and now you finally have friends, or
no? I found that I didn't need to change my outward appearance, because over time, when people started to notice me, I found that they were just noticing me just because of my outward appearance, not because of who I am, Rollen.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
And I mean that was hard for me to learn, because I would continue to do it through high school. When you
did you play sports?
I did. I did cross country and I did golf.
Okay.
But I remember during lunchtime, not during lunchtime, but after school, I had a couple good friends and we'd go exercise together. Everyone just pretty much knew me as the exercise guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I noticed that this wasn't it couldn't bring me everything, not my deepest desires.
Mm-hmm.
So
your deepest desires. That's a damn. So yeah, that's crazy.
I think go ahead.
Sorry, you go first. I just wanted to continue to talk, but you go. What do you say?
Yeah. So going back to vanity, I was listening to a podcast by Father Mike Schmitz, and his definition of vanity is it's the inordinate preoccupation of what others think of you.
Uh-huh.
Right? So how many times are we willing to or we force ourselves to change or not do things based on what others think of us? How many times have we failed to live up to what Jesus is calling us to do because we're just afraid of what others think of us or lack thereof? And I think for me, exercise was one of those things, because I was in a sense ashamed that I couldn't live up to the idealized standards.
Idealize? So, your typical
like, you know,
strength competition.
yeah,
like
like
type of guy.
yeah, because like I mean, like as a guy, you know, the stereotypes of being, you know, good in sports and athletic and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
I struggled with that, so I was like, okay, I need to change myself, which, you know, like in a sense, nothing wrong with that, but it's leading towards a vanity. It's supposed to, now the reason I exercise, the main reason is to glorify God
Yeah.
through my body.
Yes. Yeah.
I've been starting this workout group just this quarter, and every time before and after a workout we do a prayer, and in that prayer, one of the lines we pray is that we dedicate this workout to be a source of sanctification, and may the exercises we do may not make us vainer, right?
Dude, this is so sick. I feel like once you enter purgatory, dude, it's purgatory speed run. Like, you're doing your penance on earth, bro. This is actually so sick, bro.
Yeah, I just started recently doing this. I mean, I think it's beautiful whether it's exercise or studying, just to take those 10, 30 seconds just to dedicate this time to God. There's a great prayer before studying by St. Thomas Aquinas.
It's in the freaking Miles Christi booklet, bro.
Yeah.
It's gonna take too much time.
Anyways. So I just wanted to point that out.
I see. Yeah, you had like a King Solomon or whoever wrote Ecclesiastes. Vanity, right? You had that scenario, and it's amazing that you like redeemed it, like you like glorified it in such a way. I was gonna ask, like, how do you feel like being known as the fitness guy now? Like it's a 180 between vanity and then actually like glorifying God, you know?
Yeah.
In a sense, like you baptized fitness in a way. You know what I mean? You actually made it holy in a sense.
Yeah, I think for me it was, so I came into UCSD, and I guess this is another topic, but in short, I suffered from severe scrupulosity.
Real you?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a new one. Yeah.
Severe what?
Yeah, scrupulosity. It's like religious OCD. You're always thinking about, oh, if I do this, am I really going to hell? And it's like I walked in front of a tree and I stared at it evilly, angrily. Do you know that? Yeah.
Yeah.
I see.
So yeah, it's yeah. So I suffer from severe scrupulosity, and one of the sins I obsessed over was gluttony.
Really?
Thought I was overeating too much. So
were you in reality?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
And so to counteract that, I started eating a lot less. And for those who knew me first year, but you weren't here yet.
No, I wasn't.
But I was much skinnier than I am now.
Were you like?
I wasn't. Pardon, go ahead.
Like, were you like? Sorry, I was just making a stereotype, like skinny Filipino Asian skinny.
Yeah, I guess so.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, that's actually wild.
I don't know if I met you on the first year. I don't think you were that skinny, or maybe I met you like second year. I don't know.
Yeah,
but you were skinnier than you are now for sure. Yeah.
I mean, especially as like you, typical like Filipino parents. Every time like I go see them, like, what happened to you? You need to eat more. And I'm like yeah, I'm eating. Dude, like.
Nah, bro, nah, not your mom telling you, hey, kumain ka na. Okay, oh my gosh, bro. Yeah,
no.
Eat,
yeah, but anyways, so it was only until about last May when I started really getting more serious about exercising, and taking more discipline into my exercise.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's where I am today.
Yeah. I wanted to ask one question. Do you know the YouTuber, the Black Catholic chick?
Yes.
Dude, she could freaking shoulder press me, bro. She's okay. I should like link her and just put her. But what do you think about her? So like I really was fascinated because like I feel like I have the inspiration from her, but like in a sense I also see her in you. Being able to redefine fitness in a very holy and Catholic way, I think that's really hard in today's industry. I know you earlier wanted to mentioned it, but fitness really is vanity. For example, I'm sorry. Fitness is sure vanity. But anything could be vanity. Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be vain to be. You don't have to be proud to be vain. Thinking like everyone's, look at me. I'm doing. A shy person can be vain, and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. Because again, vanity is a preordinate occupation of what other people think of me.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So, but yes, fitness I think is preeminent. example of vanity, because you see, you know, the typical, when you think of fitness, you think of like these,
when you think of gym bro,
yeah, like these unattainable bodies, and everything's like photoshopped. You know, social media.
Let's not talk about social media, dude. The social media is actually insane.
Yeah, I guess that's another topic. But in short, it's almost fake in a sense, and it makes people think, how can I obtain these ideals? Right? It's impossible. Well, I'm sorry, not impossible, but
There are some big sacrifices you have to make to your not morals, just your mindset in general.
Yeah.
And also to
and you have to take into account that many pictures are photoshopped. You know, lighting, a lot of photo tricks people will use.
It actually blows my mind because like when I was like looking up how to use like Photoshop, the first thing was like how to remove your pimples off your face or something like that. It's just like oh, it's a little cute. You take off the pimples, but then like have you seen like those videos of like the like great changes to like they move the head a bit so it looks a little more leaner and just like the poses a little better, and it blows my mind like that's like it's so fake. And I don't know, I guess I'm allergic to dishonesty and fakeness. I don't know if you're the same.
Yeah.
I was like doing some headshots for my club, and the thing that every single person who took a headshot said after taking the headshot was, Sophia, can you remove my pimples from the picture? And I'm like, sure, I guess.
That's so funny.
So yeah.
The camera's right there, by the way.
I was
It's fine.
to you.
It's fine.
Yeah,
it's
sorry.
fine. Yeah, what do you think of... It's so awkward, bro.
I'm sorry.
No, I just want to remind you because you've been staring at it. It's fine.
It's because I'm looking at you guys.
It's fine.
I'm sorry.
I want to get back to Black Catholic chick. Like, what do you think about her? Like, her goals of fitness and stuff like that. Like, do you like? I know you told me your goals, but would you ever aspire to be like that in fitness compared to her?
Can you clarify what
she did like competitions and everything like that.
Okay.
Like serious like, I need to put like her most popular video on her fitness channel was like 1 million views that she competed in like 2012 and she did all like the poses and everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, she is fit, bro. She is fit. She has guns.
Okay. Thanks for asking. You know, for me, for a while, I mean, back when I was more so in high school, the main reason I exercised was, you know, it was primarily like, you know, to attract girls. I'll be honest.
Yo! No, I mean, come on.
I mean, that's pretty much what every guy does.
Like every guy feels like if they get leaner and bigger, that every girl will like run towards him.
Yeah. So now that I'm more in, like
a godly state.
Yeah. Let's say that I'm putting myself on a higher pedestal. I think that's the wrong way to go about it. Yeah. But I think I've just come more understanding of what sin is and how sin damages the human person. Now going more towards like competitions, that, you know, involves, you know, like taking off your shirt and you're basically you're wearing a Speedo on the stage.
I can't imagine you being that buff. I just like Photoshop your face on one of the bodybuilders.
And so there's a sense where, you know, you don't want to lead others into the sin of lust, right? Because the human body is sacred.
Yes, it is.
And, you know, you should, like, that's where, you know, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do understand what you're saying.
But I know that's a little too, in a sense, Pharisaic, rigid, because I know some like good Catholic people that they exercise a lot and they're fine with all that. So I would say, you know, this is again, it comes down to your personal conscience. You know, some people will say, you know, doing bodybuilding is a way of, it's all about the intent. What it come down to. If you're just going up there to show off your muscles to attract people, then it's sinful. If the intent is to glorify God and attract people to the faith, then perhaps there's nothing wrong with that.
That's amazing.
That's one of the things I started fitness for, incorporating it more into my faith, because, you know, I think fitness is something everyone, you know, likes, aspires to.
Yeah.
And I'm treating it like as a bridge to faith, something that I can attract people to, because if you're just 100% religious and, you know, that's all you talk about, that's your whole personality, you're just going to drive people away, right? But if you're like a human, you know, I'm sorry, that came out,
A normal person.
Yeah.
With normal interests.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank
Okay,
you.
that's why. Yeah.
That's how I'm viewing my exercise now. Being able to inspire others and attract others through fitness, but then also raising them to the level of holiness.
Yeah, this is very interesting. Yeah. Since you on the UCSD Newman Center Discord, this guy has a thread called "Stay Fit for the Kingdom." What made you inspired to?
For the kingdom.
Fit.
What made you inspired to for the other Newmanites here at UCSD to want to be fit?
Yeah.
Because like it's one thing to do it for yourself and like okay, glorify God. Sorry, that sounds really selfish. But it's another to like come in and bring other people who are different skill level you do or different health wise from you. What's it like?
Yeah.
You've been doing this the past few weeks, so what's it like?
Saint Francis de Sales.
Okay.
He was known. There's a book I believe written by him called The Saint Maker.
The Saint Maker.
Where if you look at his life and the people surrounding him, it's beautiful that the other people around him became saints. In other words, he was pursuing holiness not just for himself, but he wanted other people around him to become saints. And for me, that's just beautiful. I mean, it's one thing to say, I want to go to heaven, but it's another thing to say, I want to go to heaven and make heaven as crowded as possible to bring, all these souls to God. So that's one of the reasons I began this fitness thing, because my whole thing is that we need physical nourishment and spiritual nourishment.
Yes.
So what I've incorporated is that before our workouts, we do 3 o'clock Divine Mercy Chaplet. And then after that, we go exercise together.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have opening and closing prayers. So that was one of my ways to try to get people involved in exercise, because I think it's just strictly speaking, it's hard to be consistent with exercise, to be accountable if you don't have someone you're training with.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot of self-discipline to go in and out every day.
Yeah.
So I think by having this group, it was going to build accountability. That's why at the beginning, last week, we tested our 1 rep maxes. And my hope is that by week 10, everyone improves on their 1 rep maxes.
Which is really cool to be honest. Yeah.
Thank you.
Real quick, bring us down to the training regimen. What does it contain? What are the exercises?
So I do a push-pull leg split.
Okay.
I'm sorry, to clarify, I started off primarily with calisthenics.
Yeah.
Calisthenics is body weight exercises.
I just want to say that.
Yeah, you're good. I started off with body weight exercises because I thought they were really cool to be able to do those movements such as human flag, muscle ups, and so on. Recently, I've incorporated weights.
You have actually.
Yes. Yeah. I primarily don't do isolating movements with weights, like using machines.
Yeah.
So for weights, I will do the compound exercises.
Yes, they're
squat,
very, very helpful. Yes.
Squat, bench, and deadlift.
Yes.
And as regards routines, I really don't have a set regimen I follow. I just do kind of whatever I'm feeling.
Do whatever. Oh, that's fine. As long as you still target the muscle groups, that's completely fine. Yeah. I really envy you because I do go to the gym, but I do use them. I was taught how to use the machines by my brothers, and my mom did bring me a coach. So when I had to do like with just the dumbbells and I barely had any stabilizer muscles, I was like, oh damn! I thought I was strong, but all right, never mind, my bad, bro. Yeah. Who comes around to your thing? We could say people. This I think only Newman people are watching this. I'll be honest. I'm not that famous, bro. I ain't that famous, bro.
Not yet. You're not famous.
I'm not famous yet. So I was gonna say, how many? If we're gonna talk about you, okay? Anti-gossip. We don't do gossip here. We do anti-gossip. We speak good about one another. Okay. Anyway, so
the gym.
So she was. We did the Indian run today, and I had to stop halfway because she was in.
No. Actually, that was not my intentions. I meant.
I'm sorry.
My intentions were she is so sarcastic and hates you and everything like that. How do you deal with a person? How do you deal like that?
My God. Hates you.
Okay. I was trying to transition. I was trying to 4D chest this out, but that came out really badly. I was just trying to say the mental aspect. Obviously fitness is very physical, right? But when you're actually doing weights, like, and doing the exercises, like, the mental is, like, really hard. And what does it feel like seeing, like, some people, like, struggle compared to you?
Yeah. Thanks for asking that.
Sorry, that was a really bad transition. I apologize. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
I was using Hamili because she was right there, and I was gonna do. That's why I said anti. Okay. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, just as an example today, I mean, for my normal workouts, just today, our first exercise, we started off with explosive pull-ups.
Yeah.
Explosive pull-up is where you're pulling as hard as you can and as fast as you can.
Yeah.
And ideally, your chest should be above the bar.
Yes.
Right. I can do those fine. But some other people, we have to use the bands to do the pull-ups, and they're not able to do explosive pull-ups. So, for me, it's...
Sorry, I just wanted to how many can you do?
I don't know how many explosive pull-ups I can do, but my max pull-ups is about 23.
23? Okay, yeah. I was about to say, bro. If you could do like 30, bro, I'm about to lose my... This guy's actually... You actually can lift anybody, bro. But yeah, continue.
Okay. But yes, the mental aspect. I don't think it's not a negative feeling. It just it motivates me to want to help them more because I see them and everyone has a genuine desire to get better, right? So it makes me want to help them more, because I've had years of experience with this stuff and
Wait, actually, how long? I'm sorry. You said middle school and not blah blah blah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. I've been exercising since it's like high school freshman year.
Okay.
But I've only really been taking it like seriously, very strictly since last June.
Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah.
But anyways, so it makes me want to help them because, I've already undergone all the mistakes I've gone, so I can save them some time by, giving them practical tips.
Dude, that's so cool. Yeah, that's so cool. Who usually comes along? Like.
Okay, so today, it was myself. Sofia.
Not me.
Yeah, Sofia de la Cruz. We had Hamili, Isaac, Finn, Enrique, and Noah.
Oh dang, that's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
So the reason I asked that was like, how did you like, what's the word, divide it up? No, like how did you like get everybody to do workouts? Like, did you guys alternate? Like, did you
because like I've tried to work out with big groups and I could never do it because it's like you're always waiting.
Yeah,
for
you have like a freaking like 10-minute rest time at times.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but I'm exaggerating.
I kind of, since we're all at different strength levels. I kind of just say, I try not to give them a rep range. I give them 60 to 70% effort, 50% effort.
Yeah.
And the Trident Fit Park is pretty big.
Oh, it's pretty big?
Yeah, there's a bunch of bars there.
Yeah, it is. It is big, yeah.
So I'll just say, hey, go do your set of pull-ups. Everyone has their own bar.
Okay,
do a 2-minute rest, and then just go like that.
Yeah, you're freaking training in the military.
For example, like for the chest day, like how the hell, like there's not 20 benches,
Well,
it's not just bench press. You can do chest.
No, I know, but that's one of the exercises. So like, do you split or do you?
The nice thing is, okay, at least at UCSD, I avoid going to REMAC.
Oh yeah. Me too.
It's really crowded.
Yes, I remember I came there one day. I was like, oh cool, I'm gonna go exercise at this really cool gym. And then I saw this line going out.
Yo!
Yeah.
It was like a 50-person line. I went up to the front desk. I was like, excuse me, can I please walk into the gym? And they're like, yeah, you have to wait in line.
Yep.
Bro, what were you...
Bro, I waited in that line. Because I live 2 minutes away from REMAC. So, like, I was like, okay, it's a line. I can do homework in line,
And then you had like a 50-minute like wait time? Holy shit.
No, I just left.
Yeah,
I just went to the
there was a time I waited for like 30 minutes. Yeah. That's why
awful.
I started working out at 6 a.m. when I lived there because it was like easier, like nobody there was no line.
So you mentioned morning. You're not workout morning guy?
No, well, yeah, no, usually, I would work out more so in the evening or at night.
Too early for you?
Yeah, I want to give my body some time to wake up.
That's fair, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to start your car and just start driving 90 miles per hour down the freeway when you just started.
Yeah.
That's fair. I actually am like an early morning workout guy. It just A, because I do go to the gym and there's just nobody, and B, I feel if actually go back to this point. It feels like a back room, like a super aluminum. Do you know what a back room is?
No.
Okay. Back rooms are this modern trend. It's just like, you know, when you're in an interior of a building, and it's just a long empty hallway. And the scary feeling you get from that, that's a back room. So the gym to be at morning is like a back room to me. Like,
for me, the gym at morning is like
paradise.
Yes, it's like, oh my gosh, there's nobody here. Like, I don't need to wait for a bench press. Like,
Well, if you go to the outdoor fitness park,
that's how it's
like that all day.
Yeah, that's why I go there now, cause I can't go to 6 a.m. at Remec anymore. I don't live 2 minutes away anymore, so
yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I think that's pretty much all we can talk about fitness, right? I think. It. Did you want to talk about anything else?
No. I will say the final thing is about fitness. Perhaps I don't want people to view me as kind of like someone. If anyone's interested in joining the workouts, they may think like, oh, I'm not at this fitness level. I can't keep up with Rollen. That was I really emphasize, especially in the Discord, that it's made for all fitness levels.
Yeah.
And it's a completely free judgment zone. My main goal is just for us to get stronger, however that may be, and to grow stronger in the Lord.
Yeah.
Become saints. So, that's.
We have Finney and Shaner taking photos of us.
Yeah.
Finney and Shaner. I want to say, was it Socrates? It's a famous gym bro quote was, how unfortunate would it be for a man to grow old but not know the strength of his youth. Have you ever heard that?
I've heard.
Yeah, that's like every man aspires to be like to be able to. I promise you. Okay, listen. In middle school, if you were in a confirmation, I know damn well you were like I don't know who the audience is. I'm just like I know like every boy wanted to lift every chairs. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Everybody wants to.
You never had a guy riz you up with how strong you were with the chairs?
Oh,
no?
with the chairs?
Yes. They'll be like.
I think that's only a U.S. thing.
It's a U.S. thing.
Yeah. What chairs?
So like,
what are we
talking
about?
Like, let's say the teacher's like, oh, we put away the chairs, and they're like, the strongest kids are like, yeah, yes sir, this is carry the chairs. You never been rizzed up like that?
I don't think I ever was in the situation like let's put the chairs away.
Forget about it.
You said in confirmation?
Yeah, the confirmation. Like sometimes we'll be in the auditorium.
Yeah.
Or the hall.
I think it's because my confirmation had like 3 people getting confirmed with me.
Okay.
It was a small group.
Yeah, there was no guy to riz you up. So,
Yup.
yeah. I was sad. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Any last thoughts? Or that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, Rollen. Next topic that you want to talk about. Masculinity. Yo, Virtus, right? Why are you laughing?
No, I'm joking just because I'm here. But I'm joking.
Okay. It's because we said masculinity and you just laugh because you're the only girl here.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, exactly. I'll start off with this topic. I don't think the world is. Oh, I'm about to refute my own opinion on live camera. I don't think the world is necessarily suffering from a lack of. No, I just spelled it out. I don't. The world is suffering from toxic masculinity. I think the world is suffering from a severe lack of masculinity. As Catholics, what's our definition of masculinity compared to like the secular definition? Because the secular definition, like as soon as you say masculine, immediately like the red pill Andrew Tate Sigma male. Not the actual meme, but like the actual like Sigma male, alpha male, beta male. You don't want to be a beta male. You don't want to be a wolf chasing like the pack. You want to be the lone wolf who like goes out for himself and leads the pack, stuff like that. What is a proper Christian understanding of masculinity?
I think, in short terms, the proper term of Catholic masculinity is. First, it depends on what your vocation is, but we're going to be talking about the family, I think.
That's fine.
So we're going to talk about the family. So the first thing is 3 things. First, God. You put God first. Second, your spouse.
Yes.
Third, your kids.
Yes.
In that order.
Yes.
Some people have their kids at the top. They'll have God second, and then spouse third or flip it and all be
Yeah.
in this other way around. But I think as Catholics, Catholic masculinity is not like the traditional like, oh, I have to be strong and the typical stereotypes. I think everyone knows what the typical masculine stereotypes are.
Yeah.
I think diving, that's more on a surface level, and it's arbitrary. I think to be masculine in the Catholic sense is to be righteous, to lead your family to holiness.
Yeah.
Because God has entrusted you with these souls to guide them, right? I think in short that's what it means.
Okay. Well, let me sidetrack for a second about the family. I think when I was atheist agnostic, but not like anything, blah blah blah, but not Catholic. I think the greatest tragedy is the understanding of marriage and the idea of sacramental marriage is is like pointing towards the eternal truth that is the Trinity, right? But if you don't have that point of view, you really only see marriage as like a contract, and
Sure.
we're not about to turn to like all those frustrated men who just like spat out those nonsense. I ain't gonna lie, bro. But like what being like a loving husband and a dad to children, what exactly are we expected to like be as masculine men, whatever, virtuous men, whatever?
Sure. I think, well, one, we can look to the saints, for example. We can look to Saint Joseph.
Yeah.
Look to Christ.
Yeah. Well, can you explain like what exactly they?
Sure.
Yeah.
So we can look at Saint Joseph, for example. He didn't say a word in the Bible.
No, my favorite quote is when he just says ... Saint Joseph, pray for us, bro. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, but his virtue, and I think his humility as well.
What are you referring to? Like, for example, like when he found out Mary was pregnant and he didn't know what happened, or what do you think?
Yeah, I mean that's one of the primary things that comes to mind. He could have, the law at the time said, because he was betrothed to Mary, right?
Yes.
And the law would prescribe him to basically have her stoned.
Yeah.
But in his righteousness, he didn't want to do that to Mary. So he decided to not go through it and divorce her quietly. And I think that's an example for us to follow, to always, because in a relationship, you're always seeking the will of the other. That's what it means to love someone, to will the good of the other.
Yes.
So in that, you're taking your spouse and yourself. It's not just a contract, you live together and blah, blah, blah. The ultimate goal with an aspect, the lens of faith, is you're going to bring each other closer to heaven and God.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it should be. Yeah.
You have anything to put?
I had one, but I forgot.
Oh my
I'm
gosh!
sorry.
Yeah, I was listening to him. I was trying to but I really enjoyed what you're saying. Yeah. One of the things that's really difficult is that you and I had to teach for like confirmation at our home parish, right?
Yeah.
I think one of the topics that I was really intrigued about was dating and stuff like that, and one of the hardest things was knowing that some of the kids live in in modest terms, in my word choice, is very less than ideal families.
Sure.
One of my favorite students, God bless her, she's like just straight up told me about like, oh, like my guardian is not here. I'm like, what do you mean by your guardian? Like, oh, like blah 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 situation. And I was like, really unfortunate, like parents are not there for her. I think might be her aunt, I don't know. Anyways, what I'm getting at is like a kid really does deserve to be with their mom and dad. And it's so unfortunate that today's society is just getting increasingly broken. How do you think like Catholics should approach this broken world, especially for those who are even more broken in themselves because of the situation of their families growing up?
Sure. I think first and foremost, we need to, one, pray for those in that situation. That's a given, right? Yeah. Second, we need to support families like that.
How do we do that?
Well, I'm sure there's many different organizations that help, such as Catholic Charities.
Mhm.
That comes to mind, helping single moms get through these tough times. I know the what is the place we Birthline. Yes. I was really happy to see that. When I've only volunteered a handful of times there, but the beautiful thing about that is that they don't just follow the mom to help the baby when they're just born. They follow the baby from 0 to I think 6 years of age.
Yo, actually,
yes.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So
that's actually...
they're providing resources for them, and the moms can continually come until the baby, well off, right? We don't. I think that's. I mean, this is another topic, but going into topic like.
I'm never getting any more views after this, bro. I ain't getting views anymore.
Okay, wait.
You're good.
Sorry.
Algorithm,
It's
please.
fine.
I gotta get famous somehow, bro. Okay, it's fine.
Like people will think like Catholics, you're really pro-life, but you're only pro-life to just get the baby out of the womb. After that, you don't care, right? That's not how you should approach the problem. We need to care for the person, help the mother, or the father, whoever's raising the child in that situation from conception until a point where they're reasonably well off.
Yeah.
So that's the second thing. The third thing, how we can help them, is to be models of that in our lives. So, I mean, I guess we can do it per se in the fullest sense because none of us has a family. But when that time comes, God willing, I'm sure a lot of us have friends that are not practicing Catholic, atheist, or just going through the motions. And one of the things about holiness is that it's attractive. Sin is boring because sin is boring. Yeah, okay. I remember that from one of the talks from the TI.
Yeah.
Sin is boring. Everyone sins, right? But holiness is something that you can choose, and it's virtuous and it attracts people. It makes people question why is this person going out of their way to do this? So I think as we live out our faith, and just because if we hold this to be true, let's not be a cafeteria Catholic and pick which things to choose. Let's go
all the way in, buddy.
Yeah, because that's what Jesus says. I'd rather you be hot or you be cold, not lukewarm.
Not lukewarm, not hot,
right?
Cold, yes.
So I think if we have Catholic families truly living out their faith and holiness, it'll attract others to that. I remember that I was watching this homily by a priest. He was talking about the value of motherhood. And he was talking because many people today, many families will say they don't want to have kids because of overpopulation and on and so forth.
I have a lot of things to say about that, yeah.
But he was talking about how just the beauty of motherhood and how a kid having a child can make or break a nation, right? And that's just mind-blowing to think about, the power to have that ability that God gives us. So in short, I think we need to go back to having the family be more the nuclear family, right? And having both parents present is important.
I have a lot of things to say. One is just more of not a scenario, just like a thinking problem, just a random thing. I guess when I think about why God designed things, I think is a frustration. I'm referring to when you think about how a kid is made, the woman does, the conjugal act, right? But the woman goes through all this biological processes to birth the baby, while the man, it's more it's more like a moral problem for moral choice. Do I really stick with this woman for the rest of my life type of deal? And it has been a question I guess I'll go to heaven and ask God, why did you make man not participate biologically as much?
Are you talking about being pregnant?
Yeah.
I don't know how to, like, okay, yeah, sure, but like I don't know how to phrase it, bro. Wait.
You want to know?
No, I don't.
I saw. Can I?
Okay, what happened?
You can edit this out if you want.
Well, okay, fine.
I saw a meme.
Oh,
It was a domino meme.
okay.
And it had the small domino, bigger domino, bigger domino, bigger domino.
Okay.
Right? It had Luther's 95 Theses
Okay.
at the one end side. And at the end, it had pregnant women, or pregnant men.
Bro.
That's not what I meant, but I'm talking about like.
I'm sorry, you can edit that out.
No, you're fine. I'm talking about like the way men participate. Like women go through a lot, right? And for men, like we don't really understand like what's going on in the like what's happening like a mom basically. I don't know. Like what I'm going. What?
Sorry.
What I'm trying to get is like I don't know. It's like.
Well,
Okay. Look, I know where I'm going with this. I get frustrated. Like I go online. I'm like, oh, how to be a Catholic dad, and it usually is like a lot of women just being frustrated with their husbands or they're in this abusive relationship, and it makes me go like, damn. Or I get all Debbie Downer about like, are men really like this? It's like, are men just abusive? And obviously it's not all men, but you know, I don't know if you felt the same way about like when you're looking into marriage. Like, I don't want to be a bad husband, right? I don't know. What did you have to think about all
is your issue like you can't relate to their pains that they're undergoing, or
just more like I wish somehow, some way, God made it more the male mind to like incentivize towards having kids in a sense.
I think I don't know if I'm getting it right, but basically what you're saying is like, so like for the woman, it's kind of clear that like you're a mother after you spent 9 months with a baby in your belly, and like you went through all of that. Like once you're holding that kid is like you
the
went
amount of serotonin the baby and the mom have is like intense. Like it's so intense.
So I think like it's harder maybe for the men to go through this process of like, now I have a kid, than the woman, because like the woman, it's a graduate progress. Like for 9 months you get bigger and bigger and bigger, and at some point there's a baby, you know. But for the men it's like there's no baby and there's a baby.
That's a better way of like I would just make a scenario, but nobody got it. But yeah.
So,
what I'm getting at is like, what how do you be masculine in this day and age where like you have garbage men just like walking around, dude? I guess in a sense.
Wait.
Garbage men. Sorry, was that too intense? Was that too intense? Like I'm just using words, man.
I think one of the things how to be masculine and amidst this like culture where everything's telling you to be the opposite.
Yeah.
I think primarily the first thing is faith. Everything comes from God. One of the things I struggle with, I take that and I say, God, I can't do this on my own. Just help me because I can't do nothing without you. Just help me with this.
Mm-hmm.
And you dedicate yourself wholly to God. I think that's the first primary way. The second way is to be a man of integrity, right? No, integrity is doing the right thing when no one's watching you, right? So that means you're going to act in an upright manner, not because for the sake of like the Pharisees that would blow the trumpets when they were giving alms. You're doing it because this is the way that you're supposed to act.
It's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
Sorry, I don't know if I got off topic of your whatever you were talking about earlier.
You changed it.
I'm all over the place. Do you have anything to add? I didn't think of something.
Okay.
How does it feel as a woman on this podcast? Like, what do you think about this?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. It's okay. Anyways, what I was gonna ask. Okay, so to be someone of integrity is like to do the right thing even though nobody's seeing. But like, now back to like how, for example, like it's clear for the women when you're like, it changes a lot once you have a kid. And then for the men, it can be more unclear. Like, how would the men know what is the right thing to do? I mean, of course, like, God and prayer and all of that. But, like, I feel like there's a lot of things that change when you have a family and when you have a kid, and it's like definitely unclear of how you should go about it, you know?
Like, are you talking about how a man should know how to raise his family?
Yeah, sort of.
Okay.
Think about this like the stereotype. Like
I mean, none of us are married, so I don't know if anybody can actually answer this, but...
Think about like the stereotypical like secular, like yeah, you fornicated, and you're just like, damn, I actually have a baby. That's crazy. But like, it's like it doesn't process for the man that there's like this person and the woman you had sex with has half of your DNA. It was born out of a physical connection, and it was also, in a sense, born out of a spiritual connection. Like whether that the spiritual connection was good or straight up awful, it's a different story. But it was still, this is how God, another life is in there. And like as a man, like how do we really process all of this? Like it's really hard.
Yeah, it's hard because the culture is saying that like they're treating human life as something disposable, where everyone's kind of just like we're not recognizing the dignity of the human. So everyone, that's why like going back to, well, this, like, you look at overpopulation and
All
people.
right, here we go.
The first problem with that is you're like, the fact that you're saying like there's too many people on the planet, so we should stop having people. That's treating everyone into like a number now. Everyone's treated as a number, right? God said in Genesis to be fruitful and multiply.
Yes. He didn't mean to invent calculators and pick pineapples from the tree.
Yeah.
There's not even pineapples from trees.
Yeah.
I got that from Pure Creeft. Yeah. More you know.
Very based.
You just call an 89-year-old professor biblical scholar based.
Could you insert like the Stonehenge emoji? Please.
Yeah. And then vineboom.mp3.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
Yes, but going back to how a man knows what to do, I think when it comes to the realization, like let's say you had premarital sex and now you have a child, and I'm speaking on the guys we have. Now you're a father, right? Most people will now have a sense of responsibility to care for the child. I think that's just innate in our consciousness.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of their disposition in life at the time, because they can come up with 1,000 excuses that say, I have to do this job, I don't have a job, I'm still in high school, I'm in college, blah blah blah. But the moment you have a child, now you have a human life in your responsibility. That's a really big responsibility. So I don't think it's a question of knowing not what to do and asking that, because intuitively we all know what to do. You're supposed to raise this child and provide for them. It's intuitive, but it's just a matter of, are you willing to sacrifice yourself? Because again, going back to love is willing the good of other. Love is sacrifice. Are you willing, when you have a family, when you have a child, you are now sacrificing your own wants, your own needs for the betterment of your children, right? So I think the proper way to phrase it is, are you willing to sacrifice what you want in the place of the betterment of your child?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just everything about our culture really just hates the family. It's very interesting. I think one of the reasons why I started to like not follow secular media, I was the overpopulation thing. I remember reading a study in 2018. It was saying that by 2200 there will be Ukrainians, Russians before the war, Ukrainians, Russians, Polish and other Eastern Europeans, and I do remember this, Japanese and Koreans will go extinct because their birth rate is declining so fast that they have no replacement like birth rate at all. And it just saddened me, because people think that the world will be better if there's less people. If you're in like economics, you know, like demographic collapse is the absolute, like that's gonna absolutely kill everything basically. And I don't think our generation is ready for that. And it's so unfortunate too, because are you passionate about all like the sexual stuff and sex stuff about like our modern times? Like, come on, we're talking about family. We get
What do you
like contraception and all that stuff? Yeah.
Are you talking about my views on it? Or?
Yeah, like you're base. You're Catholic. You're gonna say the exact same thing. Like
I mean, yeah, I think even if I wasn't Catholic.
This is why I actually want.
Okay.
Even if you weren't Catholic.
Even if I wasn't Catholic, I think, it doesn't. It reduces the sexual act to just pleasure, and now you're using people.
Yeah.
Because when you introduce contraception, it takes the possibility that the reason why contraception exists is because people don't want to have a baby, right? Mm-hmm. So now you're just treating sex as just for the sake of pleasure, and it becomes you're using people as a means to an end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say I totally agree with you, but then like when you put it outside of a Catholic perspective, then they think like if you're married to someone like and you're using contraceptives outside of a Catholic perspective, it's like I don't know if you would be using that person because it's like there is also the connection that like having sex with someone brings, and like that connection is important if you're married to someone.
Yeah. And
it's like even if you're not having kids, like for example, if you can't have kids and you still have sex, like that's not a problem. And like it's like because it's still important to connect in the physical way,
Yeah, that's one of the things about misconceptions about the Catholic Church is that people think that the church hates like sexuality and like sex. Like it couldn't be farther from the truth. We actually
we love sex.
Put that in the Discord.
Why, bro? We love it. There's no way I'm putting it in Discord, bro.
The typical Catholic family with like 8 children.
True.
See, that's the thing. Like the replacement for like religious people is so high. Like you see, like you go like Latin mass, and it's like there's like 8 kids. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, but
the replacement for Catholic people. Sorry, I took a while to process the phrase.
Okay. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, we go.
Going back to your question. So let's say you're outside of Catholic, you're non-Catholic, but you're married, but you use contraception within your marriage. I would say that I agree that you're not using the person as a means to end, but then you now are taking the possibility of God to instill life, because when you're looking at sex, at anything, what is the purpose of sex?
So here's the thing, like teleology.
The
end purpose is
right. The function. Because the main function of it is to produce more humans, right? God designed it in a way to feel good because he wanted it to unite us, both body and soul, right? If sex was not pleasurable, I can guarantee you this culture would not care a single thing about it, because the only result would be just pain.
Yo!
Okay? So the fact that everyone cares so much about it is because there's an inordinate desire to feel this pleasure. They're longing for something. That's why so many people are obsessed with it, because they're seeking a pleasure that ultimately they're seeking in the wrong way, and it's never going to satisfy them, right? Yeah. This is a tangent, but
everything's a tangent. It's like after the fitness, everything's been a tangent.
I was in my class today. It's a class about we were talking about the internet.
Is it the one that ended in 10 minutes?
Yeah.
That's not a class.
What?
His class lasted 10 minutes.
How?
Well, no, he went late to class, but it was supposed to be an hour and a half, which was supposed to end at 3 or.
No, it was my class is 12:30 to 1:50, and I got here I got to class around 12:40.
And he came back at 1:07.
All right, what you saying, bro?
Anyways, it was showing the top 100 most used sites in the world.
Is it .com the first one? Or
No, it was Google first.
Okay.
Google,
my bad, bro.
Google, Facebook, but then one of the students, because the teacher was like asking like, oh, what do you find intriguing about this, or anything that stands out? And then one of the students said like, I find it sad and concerning that like there's 3 like graphic sites that have more traffic than Wikipedia.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's just a tangent. Just saying like we're just seeking like pleasure at the most people are, but when you take it into account that sex is also for bringing about being open to life or being open to God. That's the one thing about I find beautiful in the Catholic faith is that we don't take God out of the equation, right? Because with contraception and all these other things, you're taking the ability of God to come into the picture, right? We're saying, okay, I want to experience this, but on my own terms.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of something to not talk about sex, bro. Okay, like, I guess, like,
Fine.
just, like, the idea of the... Oh, what am I gonna say? The masculine is to give, and the feminine is to receive. Is that... I always get confused, like, do you know about all this, like, poetic language, like, how this is how does sex...
I was just gonna start pulling out Song of Songs.
We might as well, bro. Yeah. How does marriage really point us towards the Trinity? The obvious answer is love, right? But like, how so? Like, oh, I have to like, because I think like sometimes we get bogged down. Well, no, I'm not gonna act like we're married, bro. I was gonna say like, oh, we get back from our 9-to-5 job, and now I have to love my wife. I don't know. Like, how does a sacramental form of the sacrament of matrimony, how does it point towards the Trinity and love in general?
Well, okay. So first,
other than getting married, like, well, we live together, yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Well, the first thing is that it's a sacrament. So Christ instituted it.
Yeah.
By that fact alone, it's gonna bring you. It points directly to the Trinity, because the utmost, the most eminent sacrament is the Eucharist, right? Everything else flows to that. We're all flowing to Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing. The second thing, your question was how does marriage
Point us towards
the Trinity?
Yeah.
Okay, because you said besides love, right?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Is it? Oh, yeah, you go.
Yes, I think in a sense. Okay, so we have. Okay, of course you have. I'll put it in this terms. This is very, very loose terms, and this is not church teaching. I'll say.
Oh, okay.
Like, don't use this as okay. Anyways, so
Don't quote me.
Yeah. So you can picture a father. We're taking the nuclear family, right? Just imagine mother.
Oh yeah, God's not made out of 7 persons, bro.
Yeah, mother, father, and a child. Okay, so you can think as the father, as God the Father, right?
Yeah.
You could think as mother, as a son.
Yeah.
And the love between them is so great that it produces a third person, child. In a sense, that's what happens with the Trinity, right? You have God the Father loving God the Son so strongly that it produces the Holy Spirit.
I just want to interject with you. I actually love that image. Like I don't know where it comes from. I know it's like one of the early church fathers who said something. Was it St. Augustine?
I'm not sure.
I know I heard it somewhere, but it was one of the things that made me question, like, why does God have to be a Trinity? And the obvious answer is love, right? The lover, the beloved, and the love between them, right? Yeah. But why can't God just be one person then? Why can't?
Well, that's
self-love.
You just answered your question. Yeah. So, I was listening to a podcast by none other than Father Chris Alar.
Yo.
Wow.
What? What are you talking? Why you?
No, you don't see him when he's like, wow. You don't.
No, he's like, okay, so like it's like the presentation is like, wow, wow, Mary. I don't know. I was just thinking something else.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways,
yeah, I did. Sorry. You're welcome. Thanks, though. Sorry for being ghetto about using it for good.
No, it's fine. I would do the same.
Where were we again? I'm sorry, yeah, a few more minutes for like...
Okay, yes. So I was talking about, wait, what was the question? Oh, yes, okay.
So why can't God be one person and self-love?
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so what does it take to love someone, right? You need, in order to, picture there's only you existing on the planet.
Yeah.
Can you love? Can you experience love?
So that's the thing. Like, our culture has like disrupted it with self-love. So is that possible? Yes or no? What even is self-love?
Okay. Self-love. Well,
But I think self-love requires God. Like you can't love yourself without God. The same way as you can't love another without God. So the thing is like it is requiring self-love requires another person as well, and this person is God.
Well, if you're an atheist, that's obvious.
Okay, then
Alright.
but the thing is like is
self-love love?
I think
the thing is like even the love of it like I don't know if about self-love, but like an atheist who loves another person, it's not that love doesn't exist, but that love also depends on God. They just don't know it, but it depends on God. Like you can never take God out of the factor.
No, you can't. Yeah,
He exists,
okay. Sure.
Even though you don't believe it. So
okay,
self-love works the same way. Like God is in the self-love equation as well. I don't know. I think self-love exists because like Jesus said, like love your neighbor as
it truly. I will say it does exist because you can't give what you don't have, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
That's really good. That's really good.
Yeah, but it's if you were if you're an atheist and you're the only person living on the planet, right? You can experience self-love, like you love yourself, like oh man, I'm doing great. I did all this.
You're the last person alive, bro.
It's like who's that one guy have to roam the rest of the earth forever?
The Cain?
Yeah.
Bro, what? No, but there was
I'm sorry.
people. Okay, so
I don't know why I thought of that.
you're probably thinking like some movie. Or
Okay.
something. Yeah. Okay.
Anyways, you would feel self-love, but it's not the fullest form of love,
Yeah.
right? Because
okay, that's really good. Fullest
Yeah.
form of love. Okay. Yeah.
because in order to feel the fullest form of love, again, love requires sacrifice and it requires trust and faith. And for that to happen, there needs to be at least one other person in the party.
I see. Yeah.
It's a two-people equation.
Mhm.
More.
But then if the person is not an atheist and is the last person in
Living.
earth,
Yeah.
does that person can experience full love if they believe in God and they have faith in God and they experience the love of God, and like can they have self-love?
Like if
Can
you
you
were
have self-love?
Like in a more full form?
I guess they. Okay, so we're considering that they're religious now, or not?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess you could look more towards like monks and religious life. They take their beloved as God.
Mm-hmm.
So in a sense, yes, you could experience that full form of love because that's what, especially people living in monasteries, like really just secluding themselves. They're still living in community, but even the most extreme people, I think, when the hermit life was just really beginning, you just had one person living out. So they were just all alone by themselves in a cave, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing on their mind was God. So if you put religion into the aspect, then I get it is attainable to have that full experience of love because you're receiving love from love itself. So
Yeah, we said God is love, so yeah.
So now back to the Trinity, because that's how we got into self-love. What was your question?
I have no idea.
Why,
we went on a tangent.
why
You're-
can't God?
Why can't God be one person? I say God's love. I know what you're saying. I've heard that before. I've told everybody that. I'm just doing like a devil's advocate of like.
yeah,
why can't-
I understand. I've heard this, this argument before, but intuitively it makes sense. To experience the fullest form of love, you need to have a person you need the lover and the beloved.
Yeah, yes.
So that makes perfect sense with the Trinity.
Yeah.
Right. And then you add the Holy Spirit, the love between them.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
There's a lot of theological aspects. We could talk about how like the Jews saw the wisdom of God, or more obvious, word of God, and they saw the Spirit of God, and that's how it formed into the Christian idea when Jesus revealed that no one has seen the Father but me, and all that kind of stuff. And also the Holy Spirit. It's very interesting that God had to be three persons, one will type of deal. And I just find that very fascinating because there's no other religion or pagan mythology, blah blah blah, that's like that, to be honest, and I find that very fascinating.
Yeah.
I think it owes to like how unique Christianity is, basically. Yeah. I'm sorry, bro. I wanted to talk more, but I actually have class at 6:30, so
Oh.
I'm gonna do a fin. Guys, thanks a lot for watching.
Guys.
Do any of you want to be shameless? Shameless.
Oh, yeah. Like, video, subscribe, make sure you hit that little bell for notifications.
Yo!
Yeah, and catch us next time.
God bless. Let's join heaven together, everybody. Pray for us. We pray for you.